Welcome back, everybody. Today I'm going to be making cheesy chicken baked enchiladas. This is more of Tex-Mex style enchiladas. So if you want other styles of enchiladas, maybe the way my grandmother used to make, I will link those recipe videos below or somewhere in the video. I also have a popular Tex-Mex style ground beef enchiladas. I'll link that as well. But today I am using leftover chicken to make baked enchiladas. Okay, you guys, so in my last video, or one of the last two videos, I did a whole chicken in the Instant Pot, and part of the chicken, here I have a little over a pound of chicken. A pound to a pound and a half of cooked chicken works in this recipe. So I basically chopped it up, shredded it up. So what I'm going to do is season this, and seasoning the chicken is up to you. Salt and pepper, I'm using a little bit of seasoning salt. You guys know I use that a lot. I'm going to add a little bit of ground cumin. And I'm going to be using chili powder. A lot of you like to see what I use. So for those of you that always want to know, today I'm using the Bollner's Fiesta brand. The other brand I used to use, which I had a lot of, was the McCormick brand, but I'm out now, so this is what I'm using. So a little bit of chili powder, and if I had to guess, maybe a 1/4 teaspoon of all of these. You know, if you want things to be saltier, then go for it. And also in my original recipes, I like to use chicken bouillon powder, and some of you don't like to use that. Well, you could use, you know, today I'm going to be using a chicken broth. I'm going to skip the chicken flavored powder. But you definitely can use that, and again I will link my other recipe video so you can see how I make the enchilada sauce there. So a little bit of onion powder, and I'm going to give this a mix. Okay, so that's seasoned. Now I want to show you, I reserved my chicken broth from my Instant Pot, which is I'm gonna use this for my enchilada sauce. So this will definitely be enough fat to start a roux, and this, I'm going to actually add a little bit more water, and as I warm it up, I should get around 2 to 2.5 cups of chicken broth, and that's what's going to be the liquid I use today for my enchilada sauce. Now I am going to prepare my corn tortillas. Here I have 14, and I'm going to pass them lightly through hot grease, just quickly, between 5 to 10 seconds. And this step does two things. It makes them soft and pliable, which is easier to roll them out, and it will keep its texture and shape once you pour the sauce and bake them in the oven. If you skip this step, then you run the risk of your enchilada disintegrating because of the sauce. So this is why I do this. Now, in one of my last videos, I used the microwave method where I brushed oil on each one of these and then, you know, put it in the microwave. That also will work, but I'm just going to do what I usually do. So here I'm adding some oil to my preheated griddle. So this should be heated. The oil should be hot enough at this point. And this is not really frying them, as it is just heating them through with the hot oil. If you start to fry these for too long, they get like tostadas. They start getting crunchy, and that's not what you want. So just do this quickly. So you see that? Just like that. And actually what I do is I sort of put it on the tortilla over here before I put it on my sheet, just to get rid of that excess oil. There we go. So I'm going to put it on my baking sheet right here as I pass them through the oil. So at this point I had to add a little more oil to the griddle, but I'm almost done. And I just want to mention this. In one of my last videos, somebody was like, I wonder what your whole body looks like, or, you know, why aren't you showing this? You guys, I'm going to be honest. I'm living my best life right now in self-quarantine. I will probably see you guys on camera in the fall, to be quite honest. I am loving not wearing makeup and clothes right now. I am literally in my just whatever t-shirt, my house shoes, and I really don't want to get ready for the camera. So If you're curious to what I look like, you know, I have over 500 videos posted on YouTube. You can find one, I'm sure. But yeah, so for those of you wondering why I'm not on camera these days, because I don't wanna. So sorry about that. All of my tortillas are passed through the hot grease, so they are warm and pliable. Now I'm gonna work on my enchilada sauce. So here I have that rendered chicken fat from the broth that I scraped from the top. And actually I'm just gonna add maybe just a little bit of cooking oil to make sure that's 1/4 cup. Okay, so this is already preheating through here, so I'm gonna sprinkle in my all-purpose flour. And this is going to be the start of our roux. By the way, I will be putting all the measurements and ingredients in the description below. And I am changing things up a bit today. I'm a bit relaxed. So, for example, you know, I'm going to go ahead and use that chicken broth. When it came to the flour, I just put 3 heaping tablespoons or just 4 loosely packed tablespoons. I'm sort of eyeballing you guys, but I promise I'll put the recipe in the description below for more accuracy. So I'm going to go in and add my 2 tablespoons of chili powder. Mix that in. This will sort of wake up the dry seasonings and spices. Okay, so I'm going to sprinkle in just a little shake of ground cumin because I like it. My garlic powder. And you can substitute a lot of these ingredients with fresh ingredients, like garlic and onion powder with fresh, you know, if you got it. Mix that in. Now, hot pan, room temperature to cold liquid equals no lumps. Oops. Gonna go in with 2 cups. Give that a mix. And you just want to keep mixing it to make sure everything is well combined and no lumps form. I'm going to add a pinch of salt to this, just like that. And that's it. My enchilada sauce is done. Prepared corn tortillas, 14 of them. And here I have shredded mild cheddar and mozzarella cheese mix. I found 2 small blocks. I'm using about 12 ounces of shredded cheese. If you want things cheesier, go for it. Here is my enchilada sauce. Almost 2.5 cups of sauce. 2 cups, yeah. So here is my 9x13 baking dish. So first thing I'm going to do is actually take some of my cheese, maybe a cup of it. Maybe half of it, yeah. And just mix it in with the chicken. I'm using clean hands. You're gonna need your clean hands for this. If you wanna use your kitchen gloves, sure, go for it. So this is gonna go for the filling. So I'm going to add maybe a half cup of my sauce to the bottom of this pan. Just spread that out on the bottom. Sometimes I do this if I can remember, and sometimes I'm like, whoops, I forgot, but this really does help get the sauce all over the corn tortillas because I'm a cheater. I don't dip my tortillas in the sauce and then roll them out. I just pour it on top. Okay, so corn tortilla. Let's take a little handful of our mix, our filling, and just give it a tight roll. Your hands are going to get messy, but you know, it is what it is. Pull back on the roll a little bit to secure it. And then seam side down, boom, in your pan. Actually, I think this way will work. We'll see. So again, your tortilla. Take your chicken and cheese and roll it. Just like that. I'm going to spread it. Now I'm going to pour all of my sauce. These are saucy, cheesy, meaty chicken enchiladas. And I am not mad at this. This is, if you guys ever want to know what comfort food is to me, it's definitely a good Tex-Mex enchilada. I know a lot of people, I get a lot of hate comments that these aren't real enchiladas. That's not how they make them in Mexico, which, trust me, I know. My family in Mexico, trust me, they throw down when it comes to enchiladas, but this is just how I grew up eating them. Sorry, guys. This is how I like enchiladas baked. Chicken. We got enchiladas rolled, extra chicken, all the sauce. Now let's go in with all the cheese right on top. And I better start preheating my oven. Let's do that first. Someone asked, they DM'd me yesterday, was it? The day before? About making these ahead of time. Let me tell you. You can make your enchiladas ahead of time without the sauce. You know, pass your tortillas through the grease, roll everything out, and if you want, you know, put it in the fridge overnight. And then when you're ready to make them, make your sauce, pour your sauce, add your cheese, and voila, you can make your enchiladas. But if you do this complete thing with the sauce, the cheese ahead of time, I've done this. The tortilla will either do one of two things. It'll drink up and soak up all of the sauce, or if you didn't preheat and warm your tortillas through the grease, it's going to disintegrate and turn to mush. So that is my advice. You can definitely make all your enchiladas ahead of time as far as rolling them out, but don't pour that sauce until you are ready to bake. Okay, let's try this again. So here I have my enchiladas covered with aluminum foil. I'm going to bake this in a preheated oven at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 minutes covered. I'm going to remove the aluminum foil and continue baking for about 10 to 15 minutes until the top is melted and bubbly. So here is my pot of rice that I made. Very simple. I didn't even add fresh ingredients to it. I just kind of whipped it up together. And I also have, I found a little bit of iceberg lettuce and some leafy green lettuce. My purple onion, I finally finished it. And I'm going to add a little bit of fresh avocado, a squeeze of lime, salt and pepper, and that's going to go on the side for a salad. Oh, man. I'm gonna have to try one for you guys. I'll take one for the team here. But this is so cheesy. Look at that. I hope you give this recipe a try. I hope you like it, and thanks for watching.